What's up, guys? Welcome to another YouTube Live I'm doing. Let me tweet out the link. This is always this awkward thing because maybe I can get the link before I actually go live. I think I might be able to do that. That'd probably be a little, so there's like this less dead air as I'm doing this. All right, there we go. Anybody here? A couple people. Let me go to the YouTube thing now myself so I can see if there's a chat. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing this morning, man? John, Michael, Brian. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? How's the day? I had a good one. Beautiful day. Like, I don't know, the Chicago summer has just been so fantastic this year. But now I think we've got I think the forecast has got like a few days of rain right now. But yeah, it's been like an unbelievable summer. We're big beach goers around here, so it's been good for us. I hope you guys are also having a good summer or winter. I know there's yeah. Michael, where in New York you're in New York City? Where's everybody else from? Anyway, so welcome again. I'm doing another YouTube Live because I am sucking at getting some edits done, and there's an interesting reason why. One is just simply like I want to get better at doing edits, and so I'm constantly studying film, and I'm constantly studying, editing. There's a really great course I've taken that I keep rewatching and restudying called Inside the Edit. I think it's Inside the Edit. If you're into making your own movies and documentary stuff, I highly recommend it. I'll link it up in the comments with the real link. I've done that. I've also explored things like there's a great book on the topic called, it's like Making Video That Doesn't Suck, or Video That Doesn't Suck. Really great book, and I've reread it, and every time I read it, it makes me rethink about so many things I'm doing with these videos, shots I want to take, and specifically, like, there's this one concept in there that, like, every shot, not just a scene, but every shot should have you thinking, like, who the hero of the shot is, even if it's like an inanimate object, like even if you're taking a picture of a cake and there's a hand that comes in, and like a toddler hand, and grabs a piece of the cake. The hero in this is the cake. And if you were to tell a story in like a 3 comic strip, and you're just watching that cake, even if it's just the one shot, at least you kind of know who the hero is. What's kind of transpiring. There's kind of a beginning, middle, and end to the story of the cake. Even if it's so kind of trivial, it's still better than what most people take pictures of, right? A lot of people will take video of just, hey, look at this cool cat. But it's like the cat's not doing anything, right? The cat's not really a hero even in this one shot. So this is interesting to kind of, it's a really great book if you're into filming and doing any editing, but it's also so thought-provoking, it slows me down, right? I mean, it's one of those things where it keeps making me rethink what I'm doing. And so I'm in the process of doing an edit, and I'm just like, oh man, like I've gone through 2 sets of film I've taken over multiple different days, and I just keep throwing it away because I'm just like, man, this isn't interesting. This isn't interesting. And I move on to the next batch of footage where I'm hoping to find better and better material. So the process just takes a while, so I end up doing these live videos because I just can't get sometimes an edit put together, which is totally okay. But yeah. Thanks for sharing all your locations, guys. Yeah, so anyway, I want to talk. Matt Robin, who is a frequent watcher of this channel, one of the best supporters I have, he's been awesome. He sent me an email and asked a bunch of really great questions. Let me pull these up. But mostly about high-rise, branding, and so let me cover a bunch of this stuff. Some of it goes kind of fast, but it's like, he's just really interested in the high-rise brand and like what are our thoughts about it and some of its history. I mean, he asked like, where did high-rise get its name from? It was part of 37 Signals before, right? Why didn't they keep it? So high-rise, the name, I'm not exact, like, I think, yes, it was part of 37 Signals. 37 Signals also created Basecamp and Campfire and Backpack. I think I wasn't there when the name was picked. Like, I've only been here for 3 years. What I do know about the history is that I have a feeling Jason and David and the rest of the crew at making things like naming decisions at Basecamp really like these 2-syllable names, right? Basecamp, Campfire, Backpack. Originally, they wanted like a nice kind of, I think they were kind of going for kind of that camping vibe and a camping theme amongst all the product names they were doing. But it turns out Sunrise, which is the name of what they wanted to call high-rise in the beginning, I believe it was taken by somebody, and they were worried that there'd be some sort of copyright dispute or a trademark dispute. I think maybe that was, it's one of those things where a lawyer might have told them don't do it, or they were worried it would turn into something. Because I think after that there was like a Sunrise calendar. So there's been multiple things since high-rise was originally named Sunrise that have come out named Sunrise, and I don't think anybody's had trademark disputes about it. It's just one of those things. Trademark disputes are weird. I don't think they wanted to get into it. So they renamed Sunrise to another one of these 2-syllable names, high-rise. I think they were trying to go for business, right? I mean, a CRM is a very businessy thing, and a high-rise is full of businesses, and it invokes kind of a business connotation. So I like high-rise too better than Sunrise. I think high-rise is actually a really great name. We'll get into that in a second though, because there's more questions about that. But Matt asks, why didn't they keep it? I assume you mean why didn't they keep high-rise? They really have still kept high-rise. Like, high-rise is still a own subsidiary of Basecamp. I mean, it's its own company now. It has its own staff, employees, and CEO, but still Basecamp is this parent company of high-rise. So in essence, they still have kept it. We just have resources to use to kind of do our own thing. Why did they spin it off, you might ask? That's still maybe a better question for them. I mean, certain things that you can kind of, I know, from being there, and you can probably tease from the stuff they've announced on this, is they really wanted to focus on Basecamp, right? 37 Signals used to be this multiple things, and Campfire and Backpack, and they were even thinking about doing more projects. But when they thought about doing more projects, that meant hiring more and more people, and they don't want to become a huge company. I don't know if in their head they have like that limit of where. Again, this is their story to tell. Maybe they state it publicly somewhere, but I mean, I think it evolves. But they don't want to be a huge company. And also I think they really enjoy focus. You look at their products; they're very focused, and so they wanted to bring a focus to their work at Basecamp and get everybody kind of rallied around a single mission versus being spread out amongst different ideas and different missions. So so high-rise, even though it's been like their next best-selling product, didn't get the attention it needed either. And so it definitely was kind of ignored, when all the work was done to rethink Basecamp and to put resources into software development. They weren't putting it in high-rise, and they wanted that to change. So they brought in a new team to take over high-rise and spin it off. So that's some of the story of why we've done the spin-off. But they still really liked the product. They just wanted to, they thought it wasn't being treated well, being ignored. Moving on, still about kind of high-rise branding, Matt asks, in a previous vlog, you mentioned some people, when they hear the name high-rise, they think it's about buildings or real estate. Has that been a barrier for getting new potential customers? Yes and no. I don't know about a barrier exactly. It is definitely like when I tell people what we do, and it's called high-rise, a lot of people immediately think we're a real estate CRM. Obviously because of the building connotation of our logo. Can you see? It's kind of, I think, kind of bright over here, but obviously there's like, we've even kind of, used a kind of like a it almost looks like maybe a Hancock building of the Chicago skyline in here as part of our logo. And yeah, we bumped into people who think it's a real estate CRM, but I don't know. I don't think I've talked to enough people that were like, you know what, I thought you were only a real estate CRM and I can't use it for my art business or my freelancing business or we've had a geologist use it before. We have people using it for wedding planning. I don't think it hurts us that some people think we're in a real estate. In fact, I think we're actually really good for real estate. So we've got a lot of real estate agencies using us. And I'd almost like to embrace that more. You know, I think in terms of a tool, like we're constantly thinking about how we can spread ourselves better. And we've noticed that a lot of real estate companies do use this, especially affiliates of like a parent company. So I'd like to tap into that better. We see a lot of the same name of a real estate company, right? But these affiliates are all over. You know, you'll have 20 of the same kind of real estate company in Chicago, right? They're just agents and they share the name of that parent company, but they're all over the world, you know, and maybe we could offer the parent company some kind of deal, specialized training, whatever. I'm interested in these types of partnerships. We've got some meetings on the books to try and talk to some people about this. Of different types of partnerships with this type of arrangement. So I don't think it hurts us at all. I think it's actually kind of interesting. We also have a lot of pot smoking businesses or pot growing businesses. I don't know why. I think I have a couple maybe guesses. One, it's just simple, right? I mean, I think Highrise is like the CRM for non-salespeople. So I think we're popular with a lot of people who aren't traditional salespeople, artists, writers, freelancers, people who want to say, you know, do software development, but they don't consider themselves like hardcore salespeople. They don't really need like hardcore like fundamental analysis of their pipelines. They're just trying to like contact people and follow up with people to make sure that they've got, you know, some sort of pipeline, that it doesn't have to be so crazy complicated. And so I think, I don't know, pot growing might be in a similar boat. And you know, I don't know much about the pot business. I assume there's growers and I think they distribute it to different, you know, other people. What do they call it? Dispensaries, I think. So I don't know. And it's possible. I think maybe we've been mentioned in some places that talk about, hey, if you're doing pot growing, you should use Highrise or something. And another thing, it's called high rise. So maybe that connotation is just entertaining in the pot smoking business. Exactly, Robert. Truly a high rise. Exactly. So maybe it's just funny because it's called high rise, right? I mean, I don't know. I haven't researched this enough. I should probably contact some of the pot growing businesses, or it's not even, I say growing, but I think it's also just sales of pot stuff because it's more legal here now in the United States in some places. I don't know the details. It's interesting to me though, but I don't smoke pot, but it's still very interesting to me. Or eat pot, I guess that's popular now too, right? So anyway, so I still think, you know, Highrise is still a great name for us. And Matt asked a couple more things. He asked, it's bold from a branding side of things, but if you and the team ever considered a name change at any point to something more related to CRM, I mean, would that help? It's a really great question. So here's another interesting thing about Highrise. Like Highrise, when 37 Signals announced they were going to become Basecamp, the whole Highrise spinoff thing hadn't happened yet. And a lot of people just assumed Highrise was going to get sold or shut down. And customers started like fleeing. Multiple articles were written that, hey, now that Highrise is dead, you should go use this other tool. Tons of reviews came out. It's something we still battle today, unfortunately. So Lynette just got another article taken off this week. There's still a review that we're fighting to get taken off this other popular site that's basically like, oh, I don't use Highrise anymore because it's dead. They stopped supporting it. So there's a lot of this misinformation out there that we're trying to get removed. So maybe when people hear Highrise, maybe when a journalist hears Highrise, they think, what, they're dead, aren't they? So it's possible there's a lot of negative brand attached to the word Highrise in our brand and our logo. So renaming ourselves is on the table, something we think about, but I still think there's a lot of positive benefits of having this brand of Highrise. A lot of people still recognize us as simple. They recognize us as being part of that Basecamp family. And so I think it's still a net positive, to tell you the truth. My opinion, I think maybe some might argue that I should abandon it completely. I don't know. I think it's a net positive that high rise is still recognized. We still need to get the word out more that, hey, we didn't die, but I think it's still a net positive. Though I don't know, it's been kicked around that we should name ourselves as something more just like, you know, leadsandfollowups.com or something. I don't know. Which is so not interesting. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so it's tough. I mean, this branding stuff is tough. I mean, it's kind of magic. I read one article that was kind of funny about, like, you can, especially about logo design, because we think about redoing the logo. It's very much like the Basecamp logo. I mean, they made it. We have simplified it a bunch, like they've done at Basecamp. Used to have like a lot of lines in it. We've simplified the colors. It looks a little bit more modern than it used to. But still, it's got that nod to Basecamp. Should we redo it to be something completely different? I hesitate. I haven't thought it's been a good idea. Just because, you know, I think it's kind of nice having that relationship with Basecamp. You know, their brand, which is very popular, can rub off on us. But I don't know. Maybe it would be nice to kind of have a clean break. But there was an article I read that was like, you can only redo a logo. You come up with your original logo, and it's usually pretty crappy. You can redo it once. It's never a good idea to redo it twice. And I feel like we're almost in we've already redone it a little bit by simplifying it. Maybe it's not a full redo, but it's definitely better than what it was when I took it over. So I don't know. It might be something we just feel like we're stuck with. I think we can simplify it some more, but I'm hesitant to just kind of abandon what they call the snow globe, which is, you know, Basecamp almost looks like a snow globe, and they put the buildings in a snow globe here. There's some fun stuff I think we could do to it to kind of evolve it, but I don't know if I want to abandon it. There's some other stuff that Matt asked. Is there going to be a reboot of the High Rise website this year? He's just interested in UX questions and stuff. I don't know. You know, like, I've been redoing the website constantly. Like, there's always a test in the queue, and some of it is more radical than others. So I'm constantly trying to reboot the site. Some stuff works better than others. You know, if you go to highrise.com right now, all the copy there has evolved so considerably, even in the last like 3 months. New testimonials, new copy, you know, new images, and there are definitely things like our graphics that could get maybe redone. But I'm not sure there's a huge win there of investment. Maybe. Although I really like how simple our site is right now. You know, I feel like it looks clean, and it represents how simple and clean our product is. And so it's one of those things I feel like I don't want to compare myself exactly to Apple, but when Apple made these, you know, the titanium or the MacBook Pro and the MacBook, it's hard to kind of evolve these things to be radically different, because it's such a simple design that everybody's copying. I think we have such a nice, simple design right now at the High Rise site. It's hard to kind of redo it and reboot it again because it's so simple now. But we could improve it. There's definitely ideas. I could definitely get some nice graphical elements, I think, done in there again. But it isn't, I don't think it's my priority right now. I am redoing stuff. There's a new about page if you want to check it out. I just made today. It's just highrisehq.com/about, and you'll get there. It just simply states kind of like why we work on High Rise, who the team is, some stuff we've written, some videos that I've made. I just wanted to, yeah, get the word out there a little bit better about the High Rise. The website has been so simple, but there's it doesn't have any of our like company identity to it. You don't know who's working on it. It feels so like anonymous. So I wanted to take a crack at, I've done it before, but I don't think I did a good job. I think this is a lot better, and it still could be a lot better, but I think this is better than I had it before. But I just wanted to bring some of our identity to the company. It just seems so not about us. It seems so, you know, anybody could have made the site. And then last question, man asked, are there any plans to hook High Rise up with IFTT? If this, then that. Not really. I don't know much about IFTT. I'm not against it, but Zapier is the thing that we promote a lot. I don't know if exactly they're competitors or how they find themselves, but Zapier's a really good one. I believe Zapier made the original integration with Highrise, and a lot of people use it. We're a pretty frequent integration of theirs. So I don't know if there's any intention to do IFTTT, but or if it's in there or not there. I know nothing about it. So nothing against it, but we put a lot of effort into really communicating. Zapier's really been a great tool, but I've got nothing really against the other one either. That's it, guys. That's Matt's questions. I've probably talked everybody's ear off already. So I hope. IFTTT is, John says IFTTT is free, Zapier isn't. Okay, that's interesting. I think Zapier is free for like 3 zaps or something though. You can create like, or if I remember right, there are also some premium zaps that, and maybe Highrise is a premium zap. I don't think it is, but there's a, like you can get to a point where you start having to pay even with 1 zap. Darren's here. Most of your target customers may not even be familiar with 37 signals. I mean, that's true. I assume Darren's a friend of mine. I assume Darren is pitching that I get rid of the Highrise branding. I don't know. I mean, that's true. There are a lot of people that aren't familiar with 37 signals, which is fine by me. I don't think having that logo is a net negative. You know, if anything, we do get the people who are familiar with some of the Basecamp legacy, and if they don't, they just see it and think it looks cool. But I agree. I do think there's some stuff deeper inside Highrise that's actually more confusing about not knowing 37 signals. Things like logins and our invoicing and stuff like that. I think we've got actually like crazier like things we should be fixing, because like you get into Highrise and every now and then you bump into something that's very much about Basecamp, and that gets confusing because you sign up for Highrise and you're like, Basecamp, what's Basecamp? So yeah. Anyway, cool. All right, that's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This is awesome and a great part of my day. And I hope you had an awesome day. If you dig these videos, hit the thumbs up and share them. If you hate these videos, share them with the people you hate and make them watch them. But I hope you dig them and share them with your friends and family. And I hope you guys had an awesome day, have an awesome tomorrow, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody. And again, email me. You know, these questions are all from Matt, just emailing me. Here's my email address. You guys can email me whenever you want, and I will always try and get back to you. I'm pretty good at getting back to people who email me about things like the vlog and fun stuff. If you email me about not fun stuff, I'm very bad about getting back to you. But that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye. And now you got to watch me find the stop button. Later.